What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another phenomenal episode of the Dadgood Community Podcast. Tonight, we couldn't be more stoked than to be joined with our boy, Paul DeJarnette, hanging out with us in the house, a Dadgood loyalist. I know that you guys know this dude. He's constantly on the timeline, and as always, hanging out with my boy, Geek Roscoe's. What's up, baby?
What up, bro?
And your Chief Revenue Officer, Matt Campbell, hanging out with us in the house. But tonight,
What's up, fellas?
what I'm really curious about is my boy, Paulie D. Paul, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. Hope you guys are doing well as well. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for a sec. So first, obviously, wanted to do a little bit of background research on you, see what you've been up to, see where you're at now. And so I want to take it back to, like I say, 2015. Let's talk about your experience in the United States Air Force, dude. Like, I'm seeing you were working in cyberspace operations. That's dope. Network operations. That's fire. All the way up into like a project manager type of role. Like, what was that experience like, dude?
You know, it was so crazy, the amount of things that I got to do. And a lot of people don't realize, especially on the enlisted side, a lot of people don't realize just how many things our people in uniform are actually doing. You know, you may have job title X or Y, and you're doing a whole bunch of things. You know, you got people 19, 20, 21 years old who are, you know, moving organizations that are really, really big. I didn't have some of those opportunities, but I got a lot of cyber-related opportunities that were really fantastic. I got to cut my teeth in cyber doing vulnerability management, server management, directory services, as they called it back in the day. And then 2015, I was neck deep in an offensive cyber unit, which was
That's
super
wild.
fun.
That is
Can't
wild.
really tell you a whole lot about that, but I can tell you
come
it was
on.
super
Yeah,
cool.
right. He's got that classified clearance level, gentlemen.
So, you know, got to spend quite a bit of time doing that, and that's what got me interested in project and program management. And from there, it's just kind of taken on a life of its own.
Yeah,
So,
man. Bro, what was the initiant to sign up in the first place? Like how old were you? Where were you at in life? And what kind of drove you to jump into that? Because that's bonkers, bro.
Yeah.
I was in for 11 years. I joined in 08, and I am one of the weirdos who didn't join for the education, didn't join for the opportunity to see the world. I knew that the Air Force had a job that I would probably be able to do,
Yeah.
and you know, it was the closest path to getting me towards the IT space that I wanted to be in. And beyond that, it was, you know, if I ever have kids, I want to be able to say that I've done something to help preserve whatever they're going to be able to live in.
That's
That was
wild.
really the driving factor. I was 22. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Well,
I
that's what I
wasn't
was
the
gonna
youngest
ask.
person to join, but
Have you
I
always
was.
been a tech guy? Like, has that been just from like a younger age where you kind of gravitated towards, hey, man, think I know how to figure some of this stuff out a little bit?
I started
You
building
seem like it.
computers when I
Full
was a
disclosure,
teenager.
you seem like, bro, at the age of 12, you're like, I could change that. No issue. Like, just give me the blue wire and we'll run it through.
My parents let me have a hand-me-down computer when I was like 16. I had a Pentium 150 megahertz CPU in there.
Dang.
Yeah.
Chris
That
has no
was
idea what you're
what I
talking
cut
about,
my
by the way.
teeth on.
No, I have no,
That's
but it sounds
that's
fascinating.
old
I know
school.
that he knows what he's talking about, and so that's what gets me going.
Because
Yep.
Chris called me the other day actually and asked me because he wanted to build his own desktop. And I was like, listen, don't do that. Go to Micro Center, ask one of the guys at Micro Center, tell them what you need generally, and they'll compile a list of components and they will
True story.
build it for you. So just Chris
Yep.
has no idea what he's talking about in that space.
I'm not that guy, but I trust that Paul knows what he's talking about. He's speaking to me with
Sometimes.
conviction. So I'm like, yeah, you like this fool he could convince me to do anything technologically at this point.
Funny
No.
story is that I learned the hard way that wiring has to be done right. I plugged a power supply into one of the components twice, and so I turned it on and it started emitting green smoke everywhere. It was great.
Oh, dang.
Learn by fire.
That's hilarious.
Those are the best lessons.
Best way to learn, because then you're never going to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
That is wild, bro. Talk to me about so look, my mom was in the Air Force. Funny enough, she was stationed at Beale Air Force Base in California. That's back in the day, the SR-71. My family's a big jets guy, but I know an attribute to being in the Air Force is a smidgen of travel. Were you stationed anywhere not inside the U.S., or did you get to do talk to me a little bit about what your geographic was like?
So after basic, which was in San Antonio, I went to technical training in Mississippi. And from Mississippi, I went to South Dakota. I was there for 2 years, went through 3 winters. The coldest I saw was -45 with wind chill, -22 without. It blows my mind that I can say I was there for 3 winters when I was only there for 2 years. But literally, the only month on record it has not snowed in South Dakota is August.
Okay.
And it snowed every month of the year but August.
Sounds awful.
That's wild, dude. That's wild.
Yeah,
I couldn't hang, man. I grew up in Los Angeles. I couldn't hang with that cold. I bet Guy would do all right. Matt is living that life right now, so he'd be fine, but your boy wouldn't be able to hang at all.
No, that's a different beast up there. I mean, the worst we got was -31 with wind chill since I've been in Indiana. -45 is crazy.
That's wild.
It's cold.
And so what, are you just living in the barracks and just
I was
living
a
base life?
little single guy living in, it's the Air Force. So we call them dormitories.
No, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For everybody else, they're barracks.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about the Army for those of you guys tuning in. All right. Air Force is elite. All right.
We're just going to say that if I ever woke up in a tent, I would call down to the front desk and ask why there was a tent in my room.
Okay.
You had me at front desk.
I'd love to understand the dynamic around the 11 years serving. From my limited understanding of the military, a lot of people come in, they will serve 4 years, and then they'll pop right out. What kept you to stay in for that 11-year term?
I enlisted for 6 because that got me the fastest track on life.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Playing the game.
And at the end of the 6-year term, I re-enlisted for 5.
And what is that?
And at the end of that, I was so burned out, I was done. I was just like, I'm out.
And what does that process kind of look like? Like the 6 years hits, does someone like your recruiter sit you down, whoever is your higher up, say, hey, listen, you're at your term, you have X, Y, and Z you can choose from, or was 5 years kind of what they threw at you and you had to go with it?
I don't remember what the reason was behind going to 5. I mean, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But some of it, there's re-enlistment bonus, wasn't huge, tiny re-enlistment bonus, but to little old me, it was more cash than I was getting. And it was just a decision between me and personnel, and I just had to make sure I got signatures from the right people on it. So it's super laid back,
That's cool.
super chill process.
Dang, that's fire. I think your experience in the Air Force, especially with some of those duties you were upholding, is a wonderful segue to something that I really wanted to jump into, Pauly D, if I may, is, bro, talk to me about Mistwire. Mistwire.io. I saw you post in the Slack channel, of all places. You're like, hey, what's up, dudes? Just to let you guys know, cool thing that I'm up to. You are the founder, creator, inceptor of Mistwire. First of all, what the hell is that? And talk to us about how that came to be, man, because it looks like you're off to a super strong start.
Well, I appreciate you asking. So Mistwire was kind of born from this idea I've had for several years. And the best way I can describe it is by using an analogy for you. And that would be, there are thieves who break and enter into homes, and in order for them to succeed, they need to know where your doors and windows are, whether or not you may or may not be home, whether or not you have an alarm system, whether or not you have a dog. It's the same for cyber. It's the same for networks. What my product is intended to do is move the doors and windows and make it so that only people that are trusted know where the doors and windows are.
So no.
Sorry.
No, now my brain is just firing on all cylinders here.
Dude, mine too, bro. It's Are you putting sensors on the doors and windows?
Are you creating these fake doors that people think they're entering into a a server or something of that nature, or are you simply just moving it completely so they don't even have access to it?
Where they thought the door was 5 seconds ago may not be the door where the door is 10 seconds from now.
Dang.
So if you're doing what they call reconnaissance on somebody's network, right, what you map right now won't be true in however long. And yet authenticated, privileged, trusted connections will still get through.
Dang.
Wow.
And
Feel like
people
it's
who
like
have the access on the inside to be able to see the cloud, the internet, their sessions don't drop.
This sounds like an episode of Severance trying to make it out of there. You
Yeah.
think you know where
Honestly,
Paul, I don't know if
man.
you ever watched Severance, but these people
Not yet.
they try to escape.
Honestly,
Oh,
my
it's
and
good.
they can't.
mind jumped to Black Mirror,
too.
but we're on the same dude. So
So
Pauly
my
D,
mind
man.
went to a room full of mirrors, so we were
Yeah.
kind of on the same wavelength.
No, there you go. Paul, man, who's like your ICP? Who are some of kind of the perfect subjects for an outfit like this?
If anybody, so we're building a product.
Strong start.
Yep.
That's a strong demographic.
Yep.
Yep. So we are building a personal or small business version of the product, but really medium and large enterprises are going to benefit the most from this because they're going to have the infrastructure already in place
Nice.
that'll play well with this.
Yeah.
We do want to have a strong impact in the non-government organization and nonprofit space as well. And there are some types of organizations specifically related to prevention or rehabilitation on the exploitation side that are probably going to be able to get some really significant benefits, potentially even free use of the product once the company is at a place where it needs to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, dude, I mean, shoot, I even see, and I come from the financial services sector, and so
they're
we
gonna
got
love
to
it.
have the ISO, we got to have the SOC 2 Type 2, and so having an instrument like that included in your documentation, you're really covering all margins with respect to data and cybersecurity and like mitigating all risks. So
Yeah,
that's
I think
fire,
even
man.
I think even on that note, Chris, that's a great point too. At Bridge, we're consuming so much customer data from the brands that we're working with today, and all that data is being funneled right into our platform. And a lot of brands ask, like, "Hey, where is that data? What do you do with that data?" And obviously, the ones that can secure it the best, that's when brands feel super comfortable. So I think, you're solving a really big issue there for sure.
Well, so you're going back to that analogy of a house. We call that in the cyberspace realm, we call that an attack surface. If your attack surface and what's happening on that attack surface on the outside edge, the perimeter, the boundary, what if that was something that you could also attest was true using the blockchain? Another area we're building into this product is the ability to have that kind of confidence that what is happening and what your network says is happening is true and accurate.
Yeah.
We are building what we're calling a credibility engine that is underpinned by a blockchain, which will be fantastic for organizations that want to know, did this really happen or did it not?
That's great. Paul,
That's
I gotta
awesome.
admit, you're going into the military technology type of you almost lost me. I feel like I comprehend what the hell we're talking about right now. As soon as you brought in blockchain to the equation, just kind of shaking my head, going, this guy knows. But full disclosure,
He doesn't
you
know.
almost lost me. But it sounds impressive. It does.
And it really
sure.
does seem like a problem it is a problem that's out there because you see these massive organizations get data hacked day in and day out, and it's just this repetitive process. So putting in another layer of security for that peace of mind just goes such a long way. And the cool thing there is there's so much market share that there's endless opportunities for you to tap into. So I love that you said that your market is all segments.
Everybody, bro. Let's
There's
go.
new
Yeah.
companies every single day that deal with this over and over and over again. So that's really interesting that you're servicing the entire market. Obviously, everyone's plan is to break into those large enterprises, but I like your strategy, starting with these SMBs, trialing it out, getting them in there, and then working your way into a massive enterprise. Don't forget about us when you land Microsoft, by the way. So,
Yeah, come on. All right.
Paul,
Don't forget about us, man.
you mentioned in the chat the founder feeling. I mean, you mentioned that you haven't felt this electric in a minute. talk to us about that feeling, because I mean, Guy, I'm sure you felt this at the very beginning. I know it's a little bit different industries, obviously, but Paul, I'd love to hear what that feeling felt like.
I don't know if I've ever had this feeling. My most recent job was the closest, but this is one of those, I wake up in the morning and my mind is already like, okay, what am I solving? What am I doing? What is this process going to look like today for this? And I'm already like halfway to that 100 miles an hour that things are supposed to be moving at. And it's not obsession. It's just like passion. I want to see this succeed. I want to see this grow. And it feels like a little bit of a buzz,
It's sick.
if you will.
I love
And
that, dude.
I've been asking myself, is this why people just serially start businesses?
Can I
Sir,
share with you?
Probably is.
Can I share with you a quote that'll never leave my mind? 4 or 5 years
Sure.
ago, I was working at this company called startups.com. And it's basically this online accelerator for really early stage startups, helping them fundraise, fundraising strategies, pitch decks, and all that sort of good stuff. And I met with a serial entrepreneur, and I ultimately asked him, like, hey, why are you doing this? Like, what's your motivation? Like, what keeps you going? And he was like, listen, and he was an older gentleman. He was like, it takes a certain level of a psychopath to become an entrepreneur. And that's all he said. And he stopped and he was just like, sit with that and just do with that as you wish. And it kept me thinking, like, you're right. You're playing in this founder space. It's lonely, right? You're building things day in and day out. You may have a co-founder, but it really does take this level of craziness to keep yourself going. But I love the fact that you're building this product that you're truly passionate about, because that's half the battle. Imagine building something that you don't even like and you're just like, damn, I'm doing this. So I think all entrepreneurs are kind of crazy to some extent, but I love the fact that you found something that you love. Yeah, I love that you found something that you love and you're passionate about, and you can wake up in the morning and just be so excited to get going, because that's half the battle right there. So that's really cool to hear.
And
It is.
Paul, you mentioned you're looking for a co-founder. What are kind of traits are you looking for in somebody that would
I've got
partner
two
with
now, and
Hell
we're
yeah.
stopping.
That was quick.
On the
all done,
co-founder.
all done. He's
Now,
like, too much equity.
now we're
Yeah,
looking for seed
My
funds.
guy's an entrepreneur. Remember,
Yeah.
he gets out.
I felt like I saw that message 2 days ago. You already locked him in. That's amazing.
I already had one, and I was kind of feeling out one other.
Gotcha.
At this point, the biggest challenge right now that we're trying to face is, equipment costs, lab costs, and just seed for all of this stuff. So I do want to point out too, as we've been talking, I've been watching kind of the room, and I think if I had mentioned anything related to AI, your eyes would have glazed over, but I haven't. And y'all are gabbing about this like this is super fascinating and exciting, and I love that. And I love that I've been able to introduce something that is AI backed, that hasn't actually been it's not really why we're doing this. It's fun to watch new technology be brought into light, and you guys sit there and try and soak it in and realize maybe after the fact it's also an AI product.
Is it?
I haven't had to talk about it. You guys have been talking about the other stuff.
No, bro. I think that's such
so cool.
Gosh, that's such a brilliant point, because I've even gone on record of saying that companies that are employing AI, like, look, Guy works for a pretty large marketing firm, if you will, right? Tons of AI adoption. I work in debt collection, dude. From propensity to pay to utilizing AI for language models and analyzing large bodies of data. Matt, the same way in the affiliate marketing world. Like, AI runs rampant. And I think that's so interesting that you mentioned that, because I would go on record saying that AI is kind of one of those sales trigger words that make people disconnect right now, because you're inundated
over the whole
with it.
nine.
Paul,
So I almost love that when we said, talk to us about what you're doing, you didn't mention it once. Sure, it's a backbone, it's an element, it's a supportive additive, but that's not the program I'm talking to you about. It's just an assistant to this program that I'm talking to you about. So I love that you made that point, dude.
I would love, and hey, if you know someone and you can point me in the right direction of someone that can help me set up a Claude bot, I would be eternally grateful for you.
Yeah, bro, you and me both.
I
dude.
want one so bad, and I'm afraid to do it and mess something up. I got a Mac Mini in my checkout or my wife's old MacBook that's sitting upstairs. I'm ready to get this thing firing. I just don't even know where to start. And there's too many videos out there.
That's
I'm not using one.
I think we're all gonna separately shoot Paul a DM after this. Hey, you remember that
Hey,
one thing
DMs
you
are open, man.
I'm actually going to a webinar on Thursday about OpenClaw to
Can you
see how
send
I
me that?
can rig
Let's
some email. Yeah,
go.
yeah, I'll send you it.
please.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's good stuff.
So
It's a good,
Yeah.
it's a good thought. Unless you are the security-minded, security-conscious person, in which case you're like, okay, how much am I really giving this thing?
Yeah. These guys
I'm
are
giving it all.
looking, how much can I benefit?
I'm giving it everything.
I was going to say, these guys are looking for how much can I benefit from a program like this? And Paul's going in like, how can I break this? How can I identify the vulnerabilities and bring that back to my intelligence squad to build into my software? That's the difference.
Mistwire is working backwards from how is the attacker going to take a look at my stuff?
Exactly, dude.
And then saying, okay, if that's what they're
Exactly.
going to do, how can I not only respond to that, but predict it and preempt it?
So Paul is essentially that Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Catch Me If You Can with the checks, except with technology. And for that, we are thankful that he's on our side and not your side. Paul, man, I know that we
Better
only had a
than
couple
Wolf of Wall
minutes
Street,
with
man.
you. I've already crossed way past my time limit.
Okay.
I'm so stoked that you're still hanging out with us. Let's segue into our very last
Thanks very
talking
much.
point, and that is talk to us about your home team, man. You're obviously part of
Yeah.
Dadgood. You're a huge part of the community. You're constantly in the Slack. Like, bro, you're a dad, man. That's where it all starts. So, like, talk to us about the home squad.
Yeah. I have a wife and 3 children. I have a 10-year-old who lives in Mississippi with my ex-wife. He's awesome. He's super smart, super funny. I've got a 3, almost 4-year-old. He scares me. He's not the risk-taking kind of scary. He's gonna figure out how to
He's gonna hack
get
the
through
companies
life.
that you sign on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna figure out, and I'll never know.
So it
what's
sounds like
happening.
he's you, except as a
Until
4-year-old,
it's too
Paul,
late.
is what I'm gathering.
Yeah. And then I've got a little baby girl. She's, well, not a baby. She's 15, 16 months now. So
No.
That's awesome.
she's absolutely sweet and adorable. And I'm still trying to figure out what it means to be a girl dad to begin with. And
I wish I was
I'll
there.
still be trying to figure that out.
I'm jealous, man.
So
Let's go, man.
super fun.
That's beautiful, dude. That's so beautiful. I think it's interesting. Maddie has a boy and a girl, and same as you, Paul. The girl's younger. What was that kind of dynamic shift for you, like, Maddie?
More so just my son's 4. My daughter's turning 2 next month. And I think right now I'm just trying to get Cash to understand that Stella is 2 years old, not even. So not to play rough. And right now they're just tackling each other nonstop. And
Yep.
Cash is doing the people's elbow off the couch under her. And it's like, dude, we got to just chill a little bit. To be honest, I love the age gap. It's so much fun to see them be little best friends. And I don't really have any negatives other than like they can be at each other's throats sometimes because they want to play too rough.
I love that. And dude, Cash would protect, I already know, would just protect the
Yeah.
lights out of Stella, dude. And I
Mhm.
think Polly D, that's something that you're gonna get to see as your little girl grows older.
Already do.
Just such
She won't
magic.
let anyone mess with her.
Yeah.
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 Somebody was over visiting my wife today and pretended to leave with baby and left their kid here. My son was like, no, that's my
Not
sister. You can't
having
take
it.
her.
I love that.
I'd have it. Bro, I love that, dude. Well, shoot, man. Like I said, want to respect the integrity of your time. I know you gave me a sharp time limit. So for the gentleman, Guy or Matt, you got any other bones you need to pick with Polly D, or can we let him go and enjoy his evening?
But just say the
Just
They both do.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. You're buckle up.
Yeah. No, Paul, I just I know this is I would say probably we've talked a handful of times, but I just want to say like you're an amazing, genuine person. And the few conversations that we've had in the past, like we can just tell how much you care about the people around you. So thank you for showing up for us. Thank you for showing up for the community. And to honestly tell you're just an amazing father, and thank you for all your service, man. And you're an amazing person.
No, appreciate
And
that.
I would
Love
add to
being here.
that, I think, yeah, obviously segueing off Matt said, thank you for all the support. Thank you for always being involved. You know, you mentioned getting companies to pilot and like trialing and all that sort of good stuff. If you come across anyone in my network, I'm connected to a ton of people
Mhm.
across socials. If you see someone that I'm connected with that's maybe a door that could be open to an opportunity, even if I don't know them, ping me. Happy to make an
Mhm.
introduction for you. So don't be
Love
afraid
that.
to
Thank
ask.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise.
Heck
Can't
yeah,
count.
man.
Not you though, Chris.
No, I got nothing for you. Hey, look, I reached out. I invited you on the
He's got
show.
thoughts and prayers.
I got nothing for you. I only understood about 25% of what we were talking about, so I wouldn't rely on me.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
Yeah.
come on, bro. You know I got big love for you. Get out of town. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, big dog. Like I said, I know you got stuff you need to tackle off to. So appreciate you hanging, and
Mhm.
we'll catch you in the Slack, dude. Look forward to speaking more when it comes.
Thank you again for the invitation. It's fun to be here. It's fun to chat with you guys.
No, super
I
fun,
know we'll
bro.
talk soon.
All right, big
Yeah,
dog.
bro.
Talk to you later, bro.
Have a good one, man.
Later.
Bye. Yo, how fun. How fun. Like, talk about just a golden good person.
Yeah, dude, I
And
love that guy.
that's why I wanted to have him on, to be fair. And what I think, even just what I learned from that discussion is, dude, we've got so much gold in the community that we're not mining at all. And there are so many fun conversations of good people, even if it has to do with topics that I know absolutely zero about. Like, I could see the heart and the passion in it. And so that's why I wanted
Yeah.
to have him come in, dude.
Dude,
That's
but
so fun.
that's the hard
No,
part
that
about
was so
building
fun.
and scaling a community at this size is that there's so many good people, but it's so hard to keep up with all of them and understand like what they're doing. Hats off to Paul for being present, showing up, speaking his
For
mind, being
sure.
supportive, because as much as I would love to meet every member of the community, dude, it's hard to siphon through thousands of people. But when someone like Paul shows up and, you know, talks and speaks his mind, supports other people,
Yeah.
it's easy to stand out in a crowd, right? And I love that. I wish more people would do it. But obviously stage fright is
Yeah.
a big thing, and it's hard to put yourself out there.
No, well, bro, he had stuff to do tonight.
No, I know. Yeah.
And I was texting with him yesterday, and he's like, all right, let me ask my wife. We already got this thing going on. And she gave him the green light. He's like, bro, I got maybe 15, 20 minutes. We just hung out with him for
We
30
stuck in
minutes.
Dog,
30.
it's like
We were
being on it's like
vibing
being on a
big
sales
time,
call.
you
It's
know?
like being on a sales call. You got 30 minutes, you're having a good discovery, call's going well. Next thing
That's
you
my
know, you're
guy,
at the
though. That's
45-minute
Pauly
mark,
D.
and they're like, nah, I'm good. I got more time. It's like, all right, all right, let's run it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But honestly, and I just kind of going into the leadership, like, I think it was funny. I didn't, and normally I would, but this time I didn't. I didn't ask you or Matt or Warren. I just kind of messaged you and said, hey, tomorrow I want to talk to this guy. He really caught my eye. And so I think that if, you know, as the pod father, that should be something that I'm going to continue to do is, you know, if you're active on the Slack, if you're active on LinkedIn, if I could tell that you're a loyalist to Dadgood, similar to how I kind of orchestrate mutual connections, bro, if you're dope, like real, recognize real. And I'm going to find you. And I think that's something I want to add to the Rolodex to bring some more of these guys on so that we could just
Yeah,
chop it up.
And listen, not for nothing.
that'd be
I
awesome.
think like obviously you have a really good judge of character. At the end of the day, none of us are gonna be like, hey, no, you know, don't
Thanks,
bring that
man.
person on. I think that's a great initiative. Like
Bro, you don't know him well enough then.
Yeah, dude. There's j- just wait till next week, baby.
yeah, all right, pal.
That is funny. That's funny. So cool. Well, let's hang out for a little bit more before we cut it off. I want to pick on Matt for a minute if we can. Matt and I, actually, all three of us, we talk every single day. But I know Matt is going through selling his home, getting it house ready. And a part of getting it house ready is just like an absurd amount of cleaning and making your house look presentable. And I think Matt hit the limit with his children over the weekend, trying to get some of this stuff done. Maddie, why don't you talk to me about patience and tolerance through this last
Yeah.
weekend, bro?
I had none. Literally had zero patience and tolerance.
I've had none, he says.
For anyone. I feel bad. Yeah, I mean the kids they're fucking kids, man. They should be able to play. They should be able to do whatever. But I mean, we're trying to get this house on the market by Thursday. We just had pictures today. We had full like house cleaners come yesterday, and like I don't want a single crumb on
Doesn't
the floor.
help when the
Yeah, you
playroom
can't
is
even
right out
poop in the
the living room.
toilet, bro. Are you kidding?
Yeah, bro. Like, and that's what's cool about the next house. God, God willing, we sell quick enough to get the next house. Like the playroom would be off of the dining room, so you wouldn't even see it, and then you have a basement that you could just throw shit in, so you don't have to see it either.
So sick.
So hopefully that all works out. People came today to take the pictures, and they're like, "Yeah, this is gonna go pretty quickly." So we're just hoping.
Love that.
Yeah. No, we're praying for you, bro. I know, like
Yeah,
we
thank you.
talked about it earlier. I know moving sucks, and it just everything happens so fast from like the idea to this would be a cool dream to like it doesn't have to be a dream. We're putting in an offer to
Dude,
like man, I've got 4 weeks to do a million things to get my house on the market.
To that exact point, I remember like we just went through it moving down to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Ashley and I,
Gee.
we were sitting. I remember it clear as day, dude. We were sitting down at the island at our old house, and we literally said, "Hey, should we just move to South Carolina?" And we were like, "Yeah." So we put the house on the market
Like as an idea.
So whatever we
Yeah.
did what we had to do. We had someone come out, we take pictures, and the house sold in 2 weeks. We moved into my parents' house, immediately found a new place. Next thing we know, like 6 weeks later from the point that we said we were going to sell, dude, we moved 8 states away down to South Carolina. Like it was
wild.
it's crazy how when you really do put your mind to something, and granted, there's outside factors that have to play out well too, but dude, when you really lock in on that idea and you put the effort into making it happens so quickly. And now we're in February. We're coming in on 5 months.
Dude.
And just built a whole new life. So no, we're so stoked for you.
You know what I was thinking though? And because we're a bunch of sales lunatics. So hear me out on this. Honestly, because all 3 of us shared the same experience, and I doubt that we're alone in that, oh my gosh, this is happening fast. Like, if you're a good real estate agent, like, bro, you're a killer, dude. Talk about making moves, setting the next steps, the ETAs. Like for us, it might be a discovery call or a contract that we need to review, or what's onboarding look like. Like these real estate murderers, the moment that you're even 25% interested in something, you've already just purchased a new house.
Yeah.
And so credit to
Bro.
those dudes, man. Those little sales wizards.
Dude, our real estate agent, she's killed it. Like we started talking about moving 2 weeks ago. Lauren was like, my wife was like, let's meet with the realtor on Monday. She sold houses in her neighborhood. Like she has connections, whatever. Comes in Monday, she's like, oh, you guys are interested in selling? Okay, this is what we need to do. This is the timeline. This is what you need to prep for your house. This is the maintenance that you need to do in your house. These are the rooms that need to get updated. We got 2 weeks. Let's go. And I'm like, what? Like we just talked about it. And 2 weeks later, our house is on the market almost to the date. On Thursday, our house is going to be on the market.
What a killer salesperson, right?
No,
Could you imagine if that's just how you orchestrated signing new clients? Like,
dude, it's the truth. And I went through that too. One of my best friends from back home, he was my real estate agent. I used him when I bought my first property, and then I used him obviously when I sold. And dude, from the day that I wanted to sell, he was just on it, man. Setting these, we had showings, we had private showings. He was setting everything up, keeping me in the loop of everything what's going on. And the hardest part about making a real estate transaction is the communication. So unless you have a good team backing you, it's really hard to get discouraged, but also lost in the sauce of the process. There's a lot that's going on, from listings to showings to the pictures to the underwriting.
it's a pain in the ass,
dude. It's a pain in the ass. But when you surround yourself with killers in the space, it just makes the process so much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing when you have that idea in mind of going to sell or buy, is you have to back yourself with a good team. So crucial.
No, for sure. Dude, I tip my hat off to those real estate agents, because it's like, once, like I said, if you're just a teensy bit interested, the very next day you just purchased a house. Like, whoa, how did how did
How
that
did that
happen, dude? We're
happen?
just kind of clouded around, and now I've got new property. So,
Yeah.
well, shoot, boys, I want to end on a high note. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know we were supposed to cut this short, but now that I've got you here, I want to end on a high note and shout out my boy Geek Roscoe's.
What did I do?
He's hit K on LinkedIn. Not easy to achieve, first of all. Especially because what, you've been, like, dedicated to it for less than a year? You're, like, 9 months deep?
Yeah.
That's dumb, dude. That's
Yeah.
dumb, but it speaks to your consistency and your character, and then for those of you guys who are not on the Instagram side of social media, my boy
Oh man,
Gee, yeah,
One
baby, you already know. Yeah, I do. My boy
let's
Gee
go.
posted just a truly beautiful, one of those gut-wrenching, like, "God, that's a beautiful family," videos of his kid, Enzo, and his beautiful wife, Ashley, and it was just, like, a very organic and authentic, and there's no way you could have scripted it. We're lucky the camera was rolling moment, and your boy got, like, close to 2 million views, and so he is in a different stratosphere than me and Matt, and so we've already signed waivers so that he doesn't forget us little people, but massive credit and acknowledgement to my boy Gee.
dude, it's
Talk to me about what the last week has been like,
bro, it's
bro.
wild. And it's across all social medias. Like we've seen Warren post videos on Instagram that blows up. Matt, you made that post on LinkedIn late last year that absolutely blew up.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, when that happens, while I'm like, that's so amazing, I'm so happy for you guys, a bit of jealousy does set in because
Oh, for sure,
for someone
dude.
who posts content very recent, it's hard to get discouraged in the sense of, okay, why aren't these taking off? Like, what am I doing wrong? And everyone always says it only takes one. One of them is bound to blow up. And I've had some posts that do fairly well, a couple 100,000 impressions, whatever it may be. This is the first time in my life where I've like truly gone viral where dude, you shut the notifications off to Instagram because your phone
Yeah,
is just and I didn't gain a ton of followers. I probably gained like 100 followers from the post, but it's like the reposts, the comments, and not for nothing, out of the couple hundred comments it got, there was really only one negative, which was really
that's
interesting
cool.
to see, especially in the landscape of social media where there's so much negativity out there. We see it day in and day out. There was so
Yeah.
much positivity backing the post.
That's awesome.
And dog, it was just wild, literally refreshing
No, that
nonstop, and it
bro,
just
you
doesn't stop.
I love
But
that. I love
that
that so much
jealousy
for you.
does creep in. I literally this morning messaged Chris about some guy who posted the most ridiculous three-lined ChatGPT rap post on LinkedIn. Somehow he has 13 to 15K followers, and it's like, dude, ow, some
Like,
bogus
you're
ass
phoning
stuff.
it in daily, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, the jealousy does absolutely creep in. But I love the positivity from that post.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, it's cool, but so many people hit me up like, "Hey, don't lose sight of it. Don't stop posting." It's like,
Yeah,
listen, as much as I would love to post every single day, one, my life's not that interesting every single day, but two, dude, I have a million other things going on. I would love to be able to bring a camera around with me, but it's so hard. And props to Warren for doing it every single
Yeah.
day.
big, big
Big
props.
props, dude. I just don't have the mental capacity to do it. It's so hard. Showing up on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok.
You blew up on TikTok too. I saw Ashley posted it. Even her page blew up a
Yeah,
bit.
dude,
It
but
was
it's
like
like
that was just fire.
Warren had 600 followers on Instagram 6 months ago. The dude's at 11,000 now because he literally posts once or twice every single day. So for the people that say
Yeah.
it doesn't work, it's bullshit because
Yeah.
we see it. I posted on LinkedIn not every day for the last 9 months, but I'd say maybe like 80% of the days I showed up and was consistent. When you see the growth, I
Yeah.
jumped from like 3,000 to 10,000 and the impressions grow. Matt, same thing with you. Chris, same thing with you. But I think it's one of the hardest things ever to truly, like, I would love to work off of that momentum, but like, I just know it that I don't have the capacity to post every single day. Although I wish I did, but hats off to those that do. It's
No,
so
for
hard.
sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, as just like from looking outside the window inward, knowing you and like obviously you're so busy with work and you're doing so much, you just get that like, God, the right thing happened to the right person. And that doesn't happen often, but
Yeah.
it's like, gosh, when something good happens to somebody who actually deserves that shit, you can't help but go, you know what, bro? I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm more just so stoked for you because that's why we show up, man. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're sitting in this room right now,
Yeah.
you know?
True.
So,
True.
well, hell yeah, boys. What are we? Yeah, we're 45 in. Uh, I know it's supposed to be a smaller night. We can wrap it up. Any parting words? Anybody want to lead us out with a pledge of allegiance? Or, bro, speaking of, before we go, how about USA hockey, dude? Let's
Jack
go.
Hughes, dude.
I didn't even
Jack
watch
Hughes.
hockey, and I almost like ripped my shirt off and ran around the house. That was dope.
Nah, that is sick. No, real final thoughts. Just trying to lock this all in. Doing a ton of traveling over the next like month or
Yeah,
so.
you are. You're doing back to backs coming up.
Miami tomorrow, Chicago in 2 weeks, Vegas in 4 weeks. So really, it's a lot, and we're all
That's what
dealing. We're
happens
all
when you go
dealing with it.
viral, baby.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, go viral, and everyone needs you. But no, dude, I think
Remember us little people?
I just think it's really cool that we have so much going on, but yet we still find the time to do this, right? Because obviously we care about it, and there's so much good that's come from this community. So I can't stress it enough.
No.
Like to everyone that's a part of it, thank you. But at the same time, like I wish I could dedicate more hours to it. It's just that's not the reality, and I hope that it is one day. But like
We'll get there,
yeah, we'll
man.
get there. Slow
Bro,
and
we'll
steady.
get there.
Yeah.
We're real people. And you know what? To be fair, if we weren't sitting in this atmosphere being recorded, we would still be having a conversation about this time, either in a collective text thread or an individual text thread. So that's the beauty of the community, man. And that's the beauty of you guys and this partnership that we built.
Yeah, man.
So, well, that's the game. As always, thanks for hanging out. This is the Dadgood Community Podcast. Tonight, we got to hang out with our boy, Paul DeJarnette. Really cool to hang out with him. You got your boy, Guy Groskos, co-founder, in the house. Your main man, Matty Campbell, Chief Rev Officer. And I am Chris Walcher, the lunatic in-house and Chief Pod Officer. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.
Peace.